everyone, welcome to my Flosstube channel, Thread the Needle. My name is Vani and I'm from Newfoundland, Canada. So to those of you who it's your first time joining me here on my channel, this is a channel where I share my love of cross stitch, full coverage cross stitch, with all of you out there, and I'm so happy you could join me. Now, if you're returning, I can't thank you enough for coming back and wanting to share with what I have to show you. So this is my Flosstube number 50. I can't believe when I started this that I would actually, that I would actually make it this far and I would have such lovely viewers, and I've surpassed 3,000 subscribers, which is just shocking to me. So thank you so much for sharing the love. As a thank you, I think I would like to do something for all of you. I haven't got it planned out yet, but of course I'd like to do something to say thank you for subscribing, for liking, and for watching my videos, because I love being here on this platform and being able to share my love of cross stitch with all of you. So I'm going to jump right in and start, as I always do, with sharing my works in progresses, or my whips, from the last 2 weeks since I last put out a video. And as per normal, I follow a rotation which takes me through my entire list of whips. I have a lot of whips, a lot, and I continually add to them regardless of if I finish one or not. So it's a never-ending cycle, and I love every part of it, the whole journey, every single piece in my whip rotation. I love all of them so much, and so that's why I had to find a way that allowed me to work on all of my projects and me not having to choose. So I left it up to fate, and I have a decision wheel that tells me which piece I'm going to work on every time it's time to change in my rotation. So basically what I do is I start with one project, so the wheel tells me what project to start on. Then I stitch approximately 400 to 500 stitches on it before I spin the wheel again for the next one. So all of my whips are on that decision wheel, and once one project is selected, it comes off of the wheel until I'm left with just none, and that way it means that I've stitched on all of them. So I think that's fantastic, and I get to touch all of my lovely pieces, put a little bit of work in each of them. So this time around, we started with London. So I'll show you where I was. This is Life is an Open Book, London, and it's by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'm stitching it on 2/1 full cross. I got 544 stitches on this one before I switched out the rotation. So I'm making some good progress in filling in all the confetti stitches. When it comes to, normally I like to work on just a diagonal, but when it comes to where there's only small diagonals left to work on, I like to do cross country within this triangle so that I can get as much work done on it and finish the page. But if I was in a regular part of the page, I would probably just stick with a full diagonal before moving on. But this is coming along very nicely. The clock is filling in, the arch is filling in, the sky is filling in. It's all looking so lovely. This is, did I mention it's on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. All of the details of all the projects that I will show you, I will be putting in my description box. So you can, if you have any questions or if you want to know about one of the pieces, you can probably look there. Okay, so next I have the tiles piece that I got off of Etsy, and it's by, I think it's, you pronounce it Vivsters. Again, it's all in the description box. This one is a piece that I selected as a start for my friend Leanne. So Leanne is there for you all to check out on Instagram and Flosstube. I think it's Homesteading and Crafts. And here is the piece. No, that's sideways. Here's the piece that I started on her birthday, and it will eventually go to her. And I finished a square or a diamond or whatever you want to call it I'm totally showing it upside down. This is the right side up, I promise. So this is such a fun piece to work on. It is so colorful. I love working on it. It's like a color by numbers piece, and it's so much fun. Can't wait to work on the next square. I'm going to try and do it or diamond by diamond, but it's so much fun to work on. And that's just one tiny corner. It's actually a large piece, so she's not getting it anytime soon, but she knows this, so it's okay. But it's such a lovely, lovely piece. Look at those colors. Can you tell? There you go. Oh, love just the teal and the green and the yellow. So much fun. And this is being stitched on 22 count 2/1 full cross. Oh, and the update I did on this one, I put in 563 stitches. That's a lot of stitches. It doesn't look like it a lot because it's such a small area, but that's it. I got it done. Next is one of my favorite pieces. It is World Travel Bookshelf. It came around fairly quickly in the rotation because I don't think it was very long ago that I already had spoken about this one. But you never know with the rotation wheel. I do what it tells me to do. So when it says, pull out World Travel Bookshelf, that's what I do. And I'm so glad I was able to fill in a little bit more of the lovely hot air balloon and fill in more of the sky. So as you can see, the hot air balloon is filling up nicely, and I was able to finish up the sky here. I'm not even sure what's coming up here. I've just been trying to concentrate on doing as much as I can on that hot air balloon to complete as much as I could. So this time around on this, I put in 541 stitches. Mostly here, a lot of confetti in that little hot air balloon, and a lot of sky here. So that was fun stitch. Next up, so I'm doing that one, actually, I should tell you, on 25 count 1/1. I'm not a huge fan of stitching 1/1, only because stitching with one strand just seems so flimsy sometimes to me, you know, and I'm always cautious that the thread doesn't, if I'm an aggressive stitcher, so I'm always afraid that the thread is going to just snap. And also when you're stitching on even weave, which I am with that one, it has a tendency to slip under, and it's a lot harder to stitch with one thread. So you have to adjust your stitching tension, so you can't be too tight and pull it too hard. It'll slip under the crosshairs of the even weave. And yeah, it just feels too light in my hand. I need the sturdiness of 2 strands at least, which is why I absolutely love stitching on 18 count. 22 count, I do more than 18, only because I get to stitch on with 2 floss threads, and also because 22 count, for a lot of my big pieces, instead of stitching on 18 count and they're going to become humongous finished pieces, 22 count will make them a little bit smaller, because I only have so much wall space. And I have a wonderful husband who doesn't mind the topics that I stitch on. I have a wide variety. Like, there's not one thing I like. Of course, I like pretty things, as you can tell, and colorful projects, but there's a lot of ladies, and he doesn't seem to mind that, and it's a lot of fairies, and he's okay with that. But I did do a lovely tiger one for him, so he loves that one. And I'm doing a couple animals, so it's okay. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of stitching 1/1 on 25 count, but I do it because that's like a humongous piece. It's going to be so large, and that's just one part of the shelf. So anyway, on we move. My next one is one of my oldest whips. It used to be a UFO. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term UFO, it means unfinished object. So yes, I started it, and then it got put aside, and it was unfinished for a very long time until last year I decided that I was going to have this rotation idea where I would work on all of my pieces. And so I brought it out, still in good condition, still well looked after, and I've started to stitch on it lately, and I'm so glad I am. It's Prelude to a Kiss. It's being stitched on 22 count 2/1 full cross. Confetti heavy, because it's Josephine wall. And if anybody has ever stitched on a Josephine wall piece, you know how much confetti is in every single 10 by 10 block. There's a lot. And it only helps to bring the detail out. So here we are. And as you can tell, our little guitar man, our little guitar playing gentleman is just taking shape. You can pick out his face, there's his neck, and then this is the top of the guitar, the shape of the guitar. Like, it's just amazing to me that with just a few different colors, not a few, a lot, you can create a masterpiece that some artist painted and created a masterpiece of, and this is what we get. We are just so lucky to be able to transform these pieces of artwork into stitching. I love it. It's amazing, really. I mean, to see the detail that comes out in a piece like this, like, I mean, I can't explain it. It's just so much fun. So on this one, I was able to put 436 stitches in. Next is another one of my favorites. I think I call all of them my favorites, or I think in the last video I kept mentioning that I love this one. I love all of my pieces, like all of them. I don't know if there's one that I've completely put aside because I just didn't like it anymore. I'm trying to think. No, because I think everything that I have started is in my whip rotation now. So I can't think of anything that I've completely thought like, nope, can't do this, don't like it anymore, because I don't buy them unless I really love the chart. So there's a lot of charts that I have that I've bought that I just don't have time to do, but I love every single one of them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just love all of them. And this one, it's a treat. So colorful. Again, did I mention I like the color? So this is Autumn Owl Trio. The mini, is it the mini version? I can't remember. I think it's the regular version, but I cut off the top page, row of pages, because it was just orange. Like, I'm not joking, just orange. Just orange. So I was like, I'm not doing that. So I was able to put in 354 stitches, and I'm stitching this on 22 count 2/1 full cross. And this is my owl. So as you can tell, I believe this time I finished this column and started filling in this column. So it's coming along lovely. Like those eyes. And I was able to put in some sparkly. I'm going to see if I can get a little closer to the camera and show you some of the sparkles. I'm not sure if you can tell. Let's see if I can focus. That's my phone dinging. Oh, wait. If I tilt it, can you? Anyways, there's some sparkle. Oh, there it is. There's the sparkle. Sparkle right there, and in the eye, and in the eye right here. So I love it. Love it. Okay, let's get comfortable again. So last up is Ganesha. I know someone had commented on last week's video and said that they hoped Ganesha would come around again, and it did. So I got 457 stitches put in, and it's still in the frame, but I believe most of those stitches was in, obviously, in this area here and here. So that's the trunk. Let me see if I can unclasp some of these details so you can see as I throw everything everywhere. So yeah, so this is the trunk. So that got filled in there, and then this is getting filled in. I absolutely love this piece. I'm not joking. I have a different level of love for each of them, but I love all of my projects so much. And isn't it a labor of love? Because you're working on these pieces, especially full coverage pieces and large ones like these, for ages, like a long time. I've had over the years, I've been stitching full coverage cross stitch now exclusively since I picked up cross stitching since 2008. So more than about it's 2022 now, so about 14 years now. And I've had my share of finishes. I think there's a video that I did just my finishes. So I've had quite a few finishes. But at the same time, I've worked on each piece for a long time, and if I didn't love it as much as I do, they would never get finished. I mean, every time I pick this up and I get to even put just 100 stitches in, I enjoy the process so much because I can see how much effort and time I'm putting into this, and I really, really love it. Like, thoroughly love it. It's just so much fun, isn't it? All of you out there, you're stitchers, you understand what I'm saying, right? So that's Ganesha. Yeah, and I already told you how much I did. So back to the sale that me and Leanne are doing. We started this in July of this year. Our Christmas in July piece. We have a hashtag, and it's called hashtag FC Christmas Sale. It's a full coverage Christmas sale. And she's doing a full coverage Heaven and Earth design as well. I'm doing a full coverage Heaven and Earth design as well. But I decided to take it one notch up. And I decided to stitch extreme cross country. I decided to challenge myself. And so I'm only at the moment stitching it on every 24th and 25th of the month, which is what we decided would be a nice, you know, tribute to Christmas. Every month we do it on those 2 days, and we pull it out and put in however many stitches we can. I actually did not record how many stitches I did during those 2 days, but I got a bit done, and I almost have finished one color. So for those of you who don't know, ECC, Extreme Cross Country, means that you stitch extremely across the entire project in a cross-country method. So you pick one color and you stitch that one color of that one symbol across the entire project. You're not allowed changing. It's against the rules. You have to stitch all of it throughout the entire project before you move on. And I'm almost finished one color. I thought I would get it done that last time, but I haven't. But I feel also like I need to get a jump start on this project and really get into a groove, because this pink, I'm so glad I'm almost done. That's all I'll say about it. So while I love the piece, I'm not in love with this method yet, but I'm going to keep going with it. So here's where we are now. It's really hard to tell the color, and it's really wrinkly. I'm sorry about that, but here it is. It's very large. Is that the bottom? Yeah, that's the bottom. So as you can tell, that light pink is what I'm stitching. There you go. Can you show better that way in that angle? So I'm going to show you close up now. So the section that I'm working on is right here. So see, this is diagonal right here. That's all that's left. This triangle section right here, that's all that's left of this color. And I think next up, I haven't decided what color to choose. I asked for some suggestions, and I got all really lovely suggestions. Some said pick the one with the most. Some said pick the ones with the least, so you get it out of the way. Some said alternate. I think I'm gonna alternate back and forth, because as you can see, I gridded as I went. So I've only got my grid marks in this top section and down here where some of that color came. I didn't actually grid the whole project because I'm impatient and I wanted to get going on it. So I might pick, this was a large number, so I might decide to do another number or the very next one here so I could actually see it start finishing from this corner across. Haven't completely decided yet. I do want to commit and keep going with the extreme cross country method. But so what I've decided is, and I don't know if I'll manage it, I'll at least get a little bit of it done. I want to make this as my daily 100 piece for the month of December. on top of everything else that I have planned for December. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm up for it. Sure, I might not get it done, stitch on it every day for 100 stitches before I do my Christmas countdown challenges, but I'm up for it. I'm going to try it. And so that's the plan for this, because I really feel like I really need to get a good tackle on it, and I'm getting a little jealous because Leanne's got quite a bit done on her stocking, and it's about time that I caught up. So I'm going to make this Christmas piece my daily 100 for the month of December. So that way I'm hoping I'll make some progress, but I also want to pick another color, not another light sky color. So maybe that's how I'll decide. I just want a different shade of stitching for this piece. I feel like I just need something, but then I got to be super careful with my counting, which is why I grid. If you don't grid your fabric, if I don't grid my fabric, I would be lost. So that's my plan for December for this. Lastly, I know I managed to get a good bit of done, but that was closer to the beginning part of the last 2 weeks. Prior to that, lately I've been trying to work on my gifts for the my little countdown exchange with my friends. So I've been working on gifts. This time I'm making, again, the same concept, the ornaments. I have one here to show. So if any of them are watching, please turn away. But these are cute little ornaments that I'm stitching, and then they're not finished. The stitching part is done, but the finishing part is not. So this is what they're going to look like. Aren't they adorable? Each one is a different design, so it's quite tiny, and I'm going to get some kind of ribbon around here. I'll share it with you again once I've actually finished it and I've figured out how I want to finish it, but this is what they're looking like. So I still have 11 more to go. So along with all my regular stitching, I'm going to be working on those. So that is, that's it for today. I mean, it's been such a crazy busy 2 weeks, but I'm glad that I got lots of stitching done. So thank you so much for joining me here today for my update. It has been so wonderful, and I can't wait for next time. Bye, everyone.